Okay, I couldn't be more excited about this one. So a few weeks ago, I did a video with Victoria cast iron against a Lodge cast iron. Very straightforward, similar type of mass-produced cast iron. They both worked really well. The small little aspects I really enjoyed about Victoria, and I've got that in the video that I'll post below. But this week, I've got Victoria's signature series. And what is really, really cool about this video, outside of testing a high premium cast iron cookware, is that Victoria, in their premium signature line, they make not one type of finish, but two types of finishes. So this is got a tiny bit of a texture to it, and this is a smooth pan. So not only are we going to try a new type of cookware that I haven't put to the test yet, but we're going to be able to go head to head and see, does having more of a texture on your premium cast iron matter over having something that is a lot more smooth? So let's get into this. Okay, so first off, I'll do a close-up here of this pan. There's some beautiful aspects to the design. I like the way they've gone about the sharp edges and the sharp ridges to this design. It looks a little bit futuristic, I guess. I also love the brass insert. It's just a really beautiful finish and detail. I'm excited to see how this really unique handle does at a high heat when we've heated this pan for a longer period of time. So I've got two different types of pans here. I've got a higher sheen, more of a polished type of pan, and then one that has a micro texture to it. It's more texture definitely than their raw cast iron line, their kind of basic line. So it is more of a polished finish type of pan. The texture is more exact, it's finer, but it's got a nice texture overall. And so what I'm going to do today is that I'm going to cook some onions just to kind of give these guys one straight cook, and we'll just kind of see how they look after the kind of first initial cook. And then I'm going to do something that can really kind of beat up a surface, can be a little bit hard, is that I'm gonna make some chickpea and onion fritters, and we'll cook the fritters. And the fritters, I won't use a ton of oil. I'm not really deep frying them. I'm gonna be pan frying them, so I will use more oil than I usually cook with, but I'm going to be cooking at a higher heat, and the carbonization can be pretty harsh to the surface. I want to put these to the test right away and really see, is this going to make a difference on the textured surface to the smooth surface. And then from there, we'll clean them up and we will do some fried eggs and just see the response after they've kind of been abused with the fritters, which one gives us a better response. So first off, let's cook some onions. Okay, so the onions are getting pretty toasty, which is great, and turn down the heat a little bit. They've cooked up beautifully. I'll do a close-up for you here in a sec. But just wanted to touch base on what Victoria is, for those of you that don't know. So Victoria is a business out of Colombia. They predominantly work in cast iron, but they've done other kitchen type tools over their time. They started in 1939 making little cast tin toys, then got into other types of kitchenware from toys, but that's the direction they went. And they produce a large volume of the basic cast iron that I've done in the previous video. And in 2019, they started this signature series. And I think it's quite beautiful, and so far so good. Only cooked onions, but the seasoning that have come out of the box, they season with a flaxseed oil, a GMO, non-GMO flaxseed oil from Europe for whatever reason. That's what they just decided to do, and it's worked out well. So a really nice rock hard seasoning to start with, very comfortable handles. So far so good. Not even testing at this point, just doing the first cook. But everything that I see about Victoria, I think it is up there in the quality of my expectation. I wanted it to be a certain way, and it seems that it is. So really what I'm trying to do here is not decide if I think that this is going to be good. I had a really good gut feeling that Victoria was going to be a premium type of cast iron, just from even their basic cast iron that I really enjoyed. But you know, I was really intrigued when I went onto their website initially and I saw that they did 2 different types of finishes. And I'm like, I've never been able to go head to head, you know, the same piece of the cookware with 2 different textures. That's fascinating to me. So that's really what we're trying to come down to here. You know, is A, this a fantastic pan? I'm liking it a lot so far. And B, which one would you choose? Would you do a polished or would you do like the satin finish? I don't know. We'll keep going. Okay, so onions are done out of the pan. So I'm gonna do a close up here. So this is the satin finish. Onions, nicely cooked. How the surface is after just a wipe down. That's not a clean. Onions in the polished, the pan when it's done. So this is an identical test. These guys are done exactly the same way. Something that I can say though that is really, really nice here is that the handles on these guys are nice and cool. So I really enjoy that. That's a, you know, being on there for what, you know, 6, 7 minutes, 8 minutes or so cooking these onions, and the handles on both pans are warm but cool, which is awesome. So just good point. Okay, so next go, we're gonna get these, you know, just cooked in pans. I just wiped them down. I didn't clean them at all, so they're still warm. Get them the heat back onto them, and I'm gonna use some grapeseed oil. And I have made a batter for chickpea onion fritters, and we're gonna cook maybe 3 small little guys in each one of these and see what kind of mess we can make. Okay, so we've got everything on a 6 here. They've just been wiped out from the onions. So throw some grapeseed on here, get that all around. And they're warm, they're not too hot. And we're going to get our little batter here. All right, get 3 on each pan. And I'll just let those just cook away. All right, so we're gonna go for a flip here. See what we've got on the back side. Yep, gonna burn a browning. Got some good texture. So that's a little bit of an induction issue. Not as even all the way around. That is not so much a pan issue. If I was to leave this pan for 3 times as long, the full thing would get fully saturated. You know, I let the pans cool a little bit and then brought them up to temperature. Induction elements are always a little bit off balance. Every single one I've had, that they're not absolutely even. For whatever reason, I don't know why they can't nail that exactly. And the way to get over that is to give your pans even more time to preheat that I probably should have here, but we're pretty close. So we'll keep cooking. So the pans have performed beautifully, right? Everything's looking fantastic and exactly the same, no difference in the 2. So now the telltale, let's move on to an egg. So got our eggs here. Let's throw in a little bit more grapeseed. We don't have a huge amount, but we got enough to cover. And see, I've still got the handles in my hand. They're warm, but they're not crazy. So we'll get 2 eggs in there. All right, so let's give those bad boys a few minutes to cook. Okay, so where are we at here? We've got these guys, and 1 over, 2 over. So they're doing a great job, both of them. Both of them are doing an excellent job. And right out of the box, they have been performing really, really well. So like, open the box, start using them, happy as a clam. So fantastic. So we'll just finish cooking these guys up and then take a look at the surface. Okay, so egg. Okay, so cooked as you would expect. No news here. Met expectations. You know, those are, you know, fully cooked eggs. You cook them how you like them, but they both have done the same job. So the surface here is looking great. So just clean that up. Things are, so there's more texture on here, but the surface is the same and it's clean. So everything is looking great. So I think I'm gonna stress it one more time. And what I'm gonna do is do a potato test. We're gonna cook some potatoes. And these are gonna take quite a while to cook. So I'm gonna slow cook these guys. And we will see how they end up turning out. So we'll just go nice and slow. Do these pan-fried potatoes. That are super starchy and will be super sticky. And we're just gonna cook and cook and cook them and see how we end up. Okay, so we're halfway through and the potatoes are looking fantastic. There's a little bit of sticking each time I go and flip them, but it comes off quickly and easily, and they are both doing a great job. Okay, so there we are. Those guys are wonderfully cooked up. It's been maybe 20 minutes or so. Just cooked away, beautifully browned, nice and tasty. And the pans are looking great. So let's get these guys out of here and inspect these pans. So what I'm seeing is the pans are quite identical. I would say though, by looking at these guys after they've cooked, there's more cooked onto the textured pan, right? So the one that has more of a finish, the satin style, has more food cooked onto it. So I would say probably over time, more carbon could build up here if this isn't maintained really well with chainmail, where the polished is a lot more smooth. There's a lot less food stuck onto it. Not that it's created any problem whatsoever, like it's fine. Maintaining this with chainmail is gonna be easy. So I'm not seeing a massive cooking difference. At the end here, that's really the only difference that I do see is that maybe some more food built up to the satin, less food built up onto the polished. But they both work basically exactly the same. You know, the potatoes, the fritters, the onions, the eggs, everything works exactly equally. So that was interesting. I was kind of hoping there was a bigger difference, but there just isn't. And that's how it is. I've been very, very impressed with these two pans. They have performed very well. The cool handle, the brass insert here and the cool handle is amazing. You can take the brass insert out for cleaning. You can unscrew it from the backside and take it all apart if you needed to. I wouldn't imagine that's going to be an issue, but it can be done. So that's, you know, for certain maintenance if you really want to going forward. So how do these guys compare? These are the 10-inch pans. I've got a Stargazer and a Finex pan here. Let's get these guys onto the scale and see how these guys weigh in. I didn't grab anything lighter like my Field. You know, Field is going to be lighter for sure. These are a heavier pan. They are a thicker, heavier pan. So more in the gauge of the Stargazer and the Finex. So that's why we're gonna measure those. So let's see how these guys weigh in. Okay, so the heavy Finex, 6 pounds, 6 ounces. Stargazer, 5 pounds, 5.8 ounces, so nearly a pound lighter than the heavy Finex. And Victoria is 5.1, so a little bit lighter than Stargazer. So in the ballpark, but the lighter out of the three. Okay, so I've done a little cleanup, and there's the surface of the polished, and there is the surface of the satin, and both, 10 seconds, 15 seconds with some chainmail, and totally great. They worked out beautifully. So just a note about the handle, because that's really what is the standout thing here for me. The handle is wonderful. The handle on the Stargazer also stays really cool, so it's kind of equal to that. Maybe even a tiny bit better. I do love the handle on the Stargazer, but the handle is staying cool right down into the end, which is way better than the Finex. So Finex has this wrapped steel, but it gets really hot right at the end. So you have a very small amount that you can actually hold on to comfortably. So what also is really cool with the Signature series that I really appreciate, and I've mentioned this in lots of videos in the past, is that they give you a really nice little book. I wish this book was bigger. This is kind of a small book, but it's got many pages on the care and the maintenance of these guys. It shows you how to take the handles apart, how to unscrew them from the back. It's got the explanation of what they are, like how they're seasoned and what they're meant to do. Then how to prepare seasoning after, how to post-season. They also advise to use chainmail to maintain these, which is tremendous. Not a lot of instructions that I've ever read actually say to use chainmail. They talk about maintaining the surface, but they don't get actually specific that chainmail is their preferred tool of choice. So, kudos to Victoria. I think that's tremendous. So I'm giving both of these pans equal marks. I can't really say that I like one better than the other. I really kind of hoped that I could. I was really hoping, I kind of had a feeling that I was going to like the polish better. So the jury could be out maybe over a long period of time. The maintenance issue on the satin could be a bit of an issue that you really got to maintain it more. But I think we're splitting hairs. I think either way, if you wanted one of these guys' pans, I think whichever one you're gonna choose, whatever makes more sense to you, I think you're gonna be really happy with them. So Victoria, you can easily just search Victoria Cast Iron. I've got some links at the bottom of this video. They seemed like a great company to deal with. These guys supplied me with these. This is not a paid endorsement by any means. If I didn't like these, you probably either wouldn't see the video or you would hear my opinion. But I am a big fan. I think these guys sit into the premium North American market. They are made in Colombia, so they're a South American cast iron, but they rival anything else on the market. So far, I haven't seen any reason that these don't sit on the top tier shelf. So I hope that helps. Any questions, any comments, please throw them below. Thanks so much.